Now, Paul makes some interesting comments about where Jesus was crucified. In Hebrews 13, he writes, "We have an altar like that, from which those who serve the tabernacle have no right to eat." So this is an altar where the sin offerings would have been, because they had no right to eat by the sin offerings. The bodies of those animals, when blood is poured into the sanctuary by the priest, the sin are burnt outside the camp. So this altar is the sin offering. It wasn't actually, sin offerings weren't burnt in the temple, they were burnt outside the camp. Therefore Jesus also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffered outside the gate. Therefore let us go to him outside the camp, bearing his reproach. So note these two things. He was crucified outside the camp, that's outside the gate, outside the city walls, and also outside the gate of the camp. So which is, in other words, it had to be far enough away from the actual city itself, which neither of the two, Church of Holy Sepulchre nor the Garden Tomb, meet those criteria. Note here where has anyone heard of the red heifer? Anyone know what the red heifer is all about? Okay, so what the red heifer is about is a bull was burnt, its ashes were collected, and it was diluted into the water which they used for the purification. And because one bull would probably last hundreds of years, so in time it typified that Christ was sacrificed once for all time for us. So that's kind of the need for it, and they're trying to get one of those together for the next temple. Now, where it was burnt is told us among the Jewish writings. The priest that burnt the red heifer, the heifer and all that ate with him went forth to the Mount of Olives. So this is where it was on the Mount of Olives that the sin offerings were burnt. So the grace of the sin offerings that Jesus Christ symbolised was that it's a red heifer. The red heifer was red, symbolising blood. It was a female cow, 3 years old, and it had not been yoked, symbolising it was free. It was burnt to ashes, I just mentioned that. And anyone tell me, hazard a guess, remember virtually all the sacrifices had to be an unblemished male. Anyone hazard a guess as to why, of all the sacrifices, the red heifer was a female? Take a stab at that.
I'm assuming something about Mary. Mary's American Christ's mother, not yoked, so it symbolises something like that, the blood of her. I don't know, that's an assumption.
She's the bride of Christ?
Yeah, that's my thought. That it's basically a substitute for us. That's the church for a female. So Jesus was, according to this historical quote from an apocryphal book called the Acts of John, Jesus said to John on the Mount of Olives at the moment of his crucifixion, "John, someone must hear this from me, I have need of someone who will hear it." And so this is probably my best guess as to probably where Jesus was crucified. There was a cave nearby called the Cave of the Apostles, which is probably the best guess as to where Jesus was buried. It was an ancient site of pilgrimage before Helena of Constantine's mother came and picked all these alternate sites that the Catholics venerate. So yeah, that's probably my best guess as to where it was. There's a couple of verses that refer to Jesus being hung on a tree. So this is probably a good idea of probably what it would have looked like. Stump of a tree and put a crossbeam over it. And as I just mentioned, this is the cave. This is the church above the grotto where the Cave of the Apostles was. And just a couple of final points. In 70 AD, the city of Jerusalem was utterly destroyed by the Roman army under the general Titus. Josephus wrote that the siege of Jerusalem began on Nisan 14 in 70 AD, on the very same day that Jesus was crucified. If Jesus was crucified in 31 AD, that would be exactly 39 years from his crucifixion. However, if Jesus died in 30 AD, which is an alternative possibility, that would be exactly 40 years to the day that Jesus was crucified, that the Romans laid siege to Jerusalem. But wait, there's more. The Jews also record that some miracles continued to occur for 40 years before the destruction of the temple. They write that the western light went out. I assume that's somewhere near the Holy of Holies. The crimson thread remained crimson. The light from the Lord always came up in the left hand. And lastly, they would close the gates of the temple by night, get up in the morning and find them wide open. And this happened for 40 years. And these gates took, I think, about 20 men to close. So this was happening for 40 years, which gives an idea that God was giving undeniable evidence that Jesus was indeed the Messiah. And I think that's just about all I've got for that one. Now, I hope you enjoyed that. Got something out of that?